Jimmy ruled the roost in Quilter House. He was a man of few words, but those he spoke carried weight. He had a presence, commanding, intimidating. People listened.
I used to be top dog. Before the accident, a car crash left me with a limp and a cloud over my mind. I wasn't the same. I'd lost my edge, my authority.
Jimmy stepped in, filled the void. He didn't flaunt his power, didn't need to. It was understood. He was the one in control, and everyone knew it. They called him Paul Newman. Though he looked nothing like the film star, he was a gaunt man with hollow cheeks and eyes that darted around, always watching, always scheming.
I'm a survivor, a hustler. I'd steal from my own mother. If it meant another day alive, another fix.
He had a bad heart. Doctor said it was failing, ticking time bomb. He knew his time was running out, but he clung to life with a desperate ferocity. He'd do whatever it took to stay alive for one more day, one more hour, one more minute. Section 4. An unlikely pair, Tarquin and Sam, and their compassion. In the heart of Cheltenham, amidst the urban sprawl and gritty streets, lived two young men who, despite their differences, shared an unbreakable bond. Tarquin and Sam, an unlikely pair. Their friendship was forged in the fires of adversity. Tarquin, tall and lanky, with a mop of unruly hair. He was the dreamer, always lost in thought. Sam, short and stocky, built like a bulldog. He was the realist, grounded and practical. They were inseparable, two sides of the same coin. Their friendship was a testament to the power of compassion. They weren't bad lads, just dealt with a bad hand. Growing up in a tough neighborhood, they had seen their fair share of hardship. They looked out for each other, and for the few others they deemed worthy. Like Manoj. Manoj was new to Quilter House, an immigrant, didn't speak much English. He was lost. Tarquin and Sam took him under their wing, protected him, showed him the ropes. Despite the rough exterior, there was a kindness and a sense of justice that ran deep within them. Tarquin and Sam often invited Manoj over for meals, sharing their food and their stories. They included him in their games and their laughter, making sure he never felt alone. Their kindness wasn't limited to Manoj. Tarquin and Sam were known in their community for their willingness to help others. Around the bonfire, they would share stories of their dreams and aspirations, their fears and failures. Tarquin and Sam, standing together against the backdrop of their city, were a symbol of hope and resilience. As they walked into the sunset, their laughter echoing through the streets, it was clear that their bond was unbreakable. Section 5. Manoj, a ray of light in a dark place. Manoj, he'd come from a faraway land, seeking a better life. He hadn't expected much, but Quilter House was a shock, even to him. The despair was suffocating, yet Manoj remained optimistic. He clung to his hope like a lifeline. He saw the good in people, even in this God-forsaken place. He smiled easily, a genuine smile. That lit up his face.
He treated everyone with respect, kindness, even those who didn't deserve it. He believed in the inherent goodness of humanity, a rare and precious thing, in this concrete jungle.
Section 6. A cruel act of desperation. Paul's betrayal. Paul Newman was desperate. His life had spiraled out of control, and he found himself in a dark place, both mentally and physically. He needed a fix, badly. The withdrawal symptoms were unbearable, gnawing at his very core. He knew Manoj kept his money hidden, under a loose floorboard. It was a secret Paul had stumbled upon accidentally, in a moment of weakness. The internal battle raged within him, a war between his moral compass and his desperate need. He'd tried to fight it. He paced back and forth, clenching his fists, trying to summon the strength to resist, but it was too strong. The addiction had a grip on him that he couldn't break free from. He snuck into Manoj's room, pried up the floorboard. The money was there, a small bundle of notes. Paul didn't hesitate. The sight of the money brought a fleeting sense of relief.
He grabbed the money and ran. His legs moved on their own, driven by a primal need to escape. Guilt gnawed at him. Every step he took felt like a betrayal, not just to Manoj, but to himself. But the need for the fix was stronger. He was running not just from Manoj, but from the demons that chased him. The syringe in his hand was both a promise of relief and a symbol of his downfall. His hands shook, not just from withdrawal, but from the weight of his actions.
Section 7. Selma and Paul, a bond of need and manipulation. Selma lived on the top floor, a recluse. She rarely ventured out, always under the cover of night. The neighbors seldom saw her, but they always felt her presence. People whispered about her, said she was crazy. They speculated about her past, weaving tales of heartbreak and betrayal. She had a strange hold over Paul Newman. Paul, once full of dreams, now ensnared in Selma's web, captivated by her. He'd do anything for her. Run errands, deliver packages, even commit crimes. His life revolved around her every whim. She wasn't cruel, not exactly. There were moments of genuine affection, but they were rare, overshadowed by her need for control. She was needy, manipulative. She played on Paul's emotions, making him feel indispensable. She played on his guilt, his past regrets. Every time he tried to pull away, she reminded him of his failures. She knew he'd steal for her. She made him feel like a hero, even when he was doing something wrong. And he did, time and time again. Each theft, each lie was a testament to his devotion.
He hated himself for it, but he couldn't help himself. Every time he looked in the mirror, he saw a man he no longer recognized. He was drawn to her, like a moth to a flame. No matter how much he tried to resist, he always found himself coming back to her. She was his addiction. He craved her touch, her approval, her love. But deep down, he knew their bond was toxic. He was trapped in her web of need. Every attempt to break free only tightened the strands around him.